Hello everyone.
So you got the crank back then for the Nissan from me?
I have, mate, from you.
From me.
Freshly balanced. Was it far out?
Yeah, it was pretty. I don't think the crank itself was too bad, but the flywheel and clutch are a bit,
Oh, were they?
all over the place.
Face the flywheel?
Yeah, face the flywheel.
Anything special about the clutch cover? Was it a decent make?
Because
usually the better the make, the worse they're out of balance.
Yeah, it was. I don't think the clutch was actually too bad, but you remember I said to you about the dowels not fitting, not lining up.
Yes.
So I had to sort that out.
What you do? Just
went out £500,000 on all the dowel holes, and they lined up fine then.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had the box sitting here, mate. Got the pistons in, made sure the ring gaps are good, and all that as we went through on the previous video. So now you give the crank a good clean. It's looking like new.
Yeah, it looks quite nice. Come up all right, isn't it?
We've got that in, and all I'm going to do now is check the bearing clearance.
Right.
So I'm just nipping all these rods up on the crank. As you can see, I haven't got the mains caps on yet.
No.
But this one here, no oil on that one. I've just put some plastic gauge in there, so
cool.
I'll just nip these up and we'll check what the torque is. So I think because they're ARP 2000s, usually I've got a feeling these are going to be 45 if they're 3/8. So yeah, the max speed in chart here, it gives a recommended stretch or a torque. So you've got to use the ARP lube with this torque.
Yeah.
You see there, 3/8 by 1.6 long, 45 foot-pounds.
Ideal.
Which is the same. It's the same bolt, I'm pretty sure, as the Cosworth ones.
Yeah. Well, they're all pretty much the same, aren't they?
Yeah, similar. So now I've nipped all them up, mate. What I'll do is put this to 45. Been through all this before on videos, but hopefully by the time I've gone through it another 1,000 times, everyone's quite familiar. And it's surprising just from doing this and showing these bearing clearances, how much work we've had from it, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Sending engines, even if they're having to go building it themselves, or they've built engines before and they're building one now, I think they watch our video on the potential like risks of too big or too small bearing clearances, and they send it all in for check-in. So good idea.
I think often it's something a lot of people overlook, isn't it? A little bit. They sort of assume, well, it's all new, it's all, crank's fine.
Yeah.
New bearings, new rods, it should be fine, but
not necessarily.
No.
So these rods, just show you this quickly. These rods are on dowels, and they're fairly snug-fitting dowels, so they locate properly. So what we do is wind the bolts in 2 or 3 threads. Just using our soft mallet, holding the cap, just tap the bolts. Don't do it when they're not wound in, because you'll damage the end of the threads. Let's see what we've got here. Looking promising. So we're looking for around, because this is we'll just measure it actually. I'm pretty sure this is a 2-inch-ish journal, and we usually aim for about 1 thou. Yeah, so it's pretty much 2-inch, just under.
Yeah,
we
so
aim
basically,
for about 1 thou per inch or more.
Yeah, journal.
Yeah, journal, order. The headaches playing up. So obviously,
compare it on there.
Yeah, just compare it on this chart. You can see 2 thou up. Absolutely bang on, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously because it's very slightly under 2, that's very slightly over 1.1. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that, mate.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
We've measured obviously all the journals, so we don't need to plastic gauge all of them because they're all consistent. So we'll get that off now, get it torqued up, do the same with the mains.
Yeah.
And then let's get it all torqued up, ready for weight. Looking forward to seeing that Nissan, aren't you?
Yeah, no, it's a really nice car, they are.
Cool car, that.
Hard to find.
Yeah.
Especially over here, actually, I think.
I would imagine so, yeah.
So he's just having bottom end back then.
So yeah, he just
Short
wants
engine.
to see. Really, he just sent it in for machining, but he said, while you've got it here, you may as well just stick the piston rods and crank in and
Yeah.
short skirts and right and that. Peace of mind, isn't it, for him?
Yep.
So there we go.
Looking lovely.
Job done. Right then, guys, so we have got an emergency engine coming in. Now this is a Subaru Impreza engine that had all been done apparently, and something's gone wrong. So we've got to get that in. It is on its way. We've organised collection with In Express, and that should arrive tomorrow. So the first thing we've got to do is this week, we've got to get that stripped. He's getting married, the gentleman that owns it, in March. So we said that we'd turn it around. Now we've organised this a few weeks ago, so he is booked in. But in the meantime, just when I thought I had got everything sorted ready for that, we've got a Cosworth head come in. Now a chap messaged me the other day saying, I've got a Cosworth head on its way to you, and shortly I'm going to be sending you an engine. What he didn't say was the engine is going to arrive literally about 2 days later than the head. So it's arrived on the pallet today. I haven't even spoke to the guy, as I say, he just messaged me. It's an upside down Cosworth on a pallet, as you can see, without a crank in it. So I'm not sure on the story. It looks to me, just looking at the base there, before I've even opened it, looks like it's got liners in, or had liners at some point. So yeah, not quite sure on the history of this, guys, what we've got to do. It looks like a 2-wheel drive. It's got a funky turbo on it, and it's got some of the Quaife pulleys, so might be a little bit fancy, might be one that's done a crank, I haven't got a clue. But we're going to get this one unwrapped, get it on a stand. Obviously, as soon as we've done the Subaru, we shall get in amongst this. But yeah, another Cosworth, guys. The BMW. You can see now, look, I've blasted that cylinder head and the block. The block is over here on the milling machine, and you can see what difference that makes now after being in the Vapor Blaster, guys. That looks like a brand new block now. That was, well, you've seen what it was like in the last video. It was horrible. So we have got to remove all the plugs and what have you and give this a good clean out. But all we've got to do is just deglaze the bores, give it a little lick over on the top, reface the cylinder head. And I've got to, he's using, as I said to you, he's using different rings on the original pistons, but the top ring is a little bit wider. So I've got to just machine the top groove out on the piston because I think he's making it a stroker. So yeah, looks absolutely fantastic. Really happy with the results. And I'm sure the customer is going to be thrilled.
Rolling, mate.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Rolling.
First of all, mate, look at the head and the block of that BMW.
Brand new or?
Looks brand new, doesn't it? Been vapor blasted. So a video or two back when I showed this come in the door, it was over there. It was a grotty piece of rubbish.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
Well, yeah. A lot of that BMW castings are all quite nice, really, aren't they? So
they are, yeah. It's quite nice.
Quite well.
So yeah, we've blasted though inside and out. Just deglaze the bores, give the block and the head a reface. I haven't got the valves or anything. Customer's building this, but there is one thing that I've got to do on this, which I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to hold it. If we, I think it's in here. So the customer wants to use these pistons because he's building a stroker engine.
Right.
So what these are out of, I'm not 100% sure. But he wants to use the original rings that go with those bores because I think these are a Aliasil bore.
Right.
Whereas he wants to use it for the cast iron. So
yeah.
The only trouble is the oil control ring and the centre ring are the same width. But the top ring is a 1.2 on here.
Too narrow, is it?
And it's a 1.5 ring, so I've got to machine these grooves out 0.3.
How would you do
which is
that?
12
Oh, you
thou.
do that on the lathe? Or?
So I've got various tools that I can use to just turn it out in there.
Bit
Not
like
a problem.
Bit like
The
a
only
part-off tool, I suppose.
Like a part-off tool.
Yeah.
The only problem is holding it. So we can't quite get it in the 3-jaw. We can't hold up to there. Might be able to do it in the big lathe. If not, I'm going to have to set the 4-jaw up, which is a bit of a ball ache.
So you know exactly how you should be holding it.
Well, I know how to do it, really.
Bothered.
I'm just trying to find out an easier way of doing it.
Fair enough.
But that's what I've got to do anyway. And then that job's done for him.
Yeah.
So, the Cosworth that come in yesterday, upside down on a pallet. We now have that on an engine stand, and that is looking horrible, isn't it?
Absolutely filthy.
Boat anchor at this point.
Leaked on the floor as well.
Nice.
Not good.
Not good at all. Got a polished crankshaft there. It hasn't even been, it's an original crank.
Yeah.
But it looks like they've just polished that to death, which is quite a lot of work, to be honest.
Yeah.
And very pointless. So not sure what the history is with this, mate. The crank's obviously out. We haven't got the sump. You can see by the centre main, it's not looking great.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that's standard, so we can grind it, but it's the bearings look horrible.
Right.
Don't know what the history is with it. I've messaged the customer. I haven't even got a phone number at this stage.
Ah.
So it's got a fairly big old turbo on it.
Yep. With a modded sort of,
looks like a T4 derivative or whatever it is. Got the fancy quaif pulleys, which have gone nice and rusty.
Lovely.
Some grey injectors.
It's looking a bit sad, this one now, isn't it?
Just a bit, isn't it? It's got the big throttle body on it.
Yeah.
And it's got a 200 block. So yeah, not sure of the history, but I'm sure that, by the looks of it, is going to make a good thumbnail and title for the next video, isn't it?
Yeah. I reckon so.
So yeah, I'm hoping that's a go through, mate. We can bring that one back to life.
Yeah. What's going on there?
Looks like someone's welded up.
Very, very modified, that, isn't it?
Yeah, not great. It's amazing what some people do to these Cosies, isn't it, over time?
Yeah.
Bring them back to life and modifications and that. Got some big old breathers in the top there.
Yeah, they're big.
God, look at them.
Christ.
So yeah, I would have thought if you need a breather system that big, it's probably shouldn't be breathing that much, should it?
Your rings probably look in top condition.
I was going to say, yeah. I'd say if you need a breather that big, it's probably you're probably due to have an engine build. But there we go. What are you up to? I see
just chuck the Mercedes block in the wash. Gonna give it a lick of paint in a minute.
Nice.
Just while I brushed it down. And round here I've got a cylinder head.
Oh, nice.
Off of I think it's off the Citroen DS3, but it's the same as what's in the Minis and the BMWs.
Oh, what
with
that nice
all this
setup. Lovely.
But what it's done, which I don't think you would have seen before, I've not seen it before, it's chewed away at that retainer.
Oh, it has, hasn't it?
Yeah. So you got...
and it's one of the springs has jumped off, is it, or a rocker?
No, it's not actually jumped off. All that was happening was it was sat a bit like pissed, like sideways.
Tipping. Oh yeah. Oh right.
So
when you revved it, it sort of centred itself.
Making a bit of a noise.
It was misfiring.
Yeah.
Tick over, it was misfiring.
So yeah.
But,
I haven't seen that before.
No.
That bit I'm going to definitely have to get from...
That's weird, that. Whether it's
Citroen.
been a part before. Whether it's been a part before and hasn't been assembled
I don't
right.
think so.
Yeah, that's a new one that I've seen.
Knackered the cam as well.
Oh, lovely. Look at that.
At first, I saw that side and I thought, oh, it ain't too bad. It's just sort of scratched it, but it's...
the camshaft.
I managed to get one from Ultra.
Oh, excellent.
Well, they just rang somebody who's just producing them.
Oh, okay.
I'd hate to think what Citroen want for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Big money. Oh. So we've had a load of barrels come in from Arcade TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they sometimes bring us 3 or 4 in, but it looks like they brought 6 in, so they've been gathering them for a minute or 2.
Yeah.
So we've got all those to bore out, mate.
Got them to do.
But I'm off tomorrow.
You're off tomorrow.
So I'm trying to get everything organised. Just ordered all the bits for the CVH.
Oh, right, yeah.
Turbo. Yeah, he's given us the go-ahead on that. So we've got some nice forged pistons. It looks like that's been a part before. The customer is restoring the vehicle, so he wants it all looking nice and fancy.
Yeah.
But it's been a part before. It's been bored to 0.5. The crank's been ground 2.5 on the big ends and 2.5 on the mains.
Right.
So ordered all the relevant bits. Got some nice Wiseco pistons in 1 mil coming.
Lovely.
So yeah, he wants about 200 horsepower.
Oh.
So we're going to send the turbo off, get that slightly modded.
What's the top power they'll fetch then, those CVHs?
I mean, at the 1600, people have had 300 odd horsepower,
Christ.
but I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
A lot of torque steer. I've had one myself with 250 horsepower, and it was a nightmare. But I had a nice one that was 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
Done by Norris Motorsport.
Oh, right.
Who is top of his game in them, and that was a lovely car. That.
Yeah.
Really like that car. So yeah, that's what I recommend to him. Nice 200 horsepower. Brings it into modern day sort of nippiness, I would say.
A bit more pokey.
Bit more pokey.
Actually,
Still not a rapid car, but pokey enough.
Keeps up with stuff and you sort of think, yeah, this is all right, this.
Yeah. But we all remember when the RS Turbos used to be quite a quick car, really. 135 horsepower.
I certainly don't. Wasn't
they
around
ain't
then.
quick now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're only like 15 more horsepower than XR3i. But yeah, it'd be nice, that. Nice with 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
So that's it, mate. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. So I'm just trying to get everything organised for the next day or 2.
Got a couple engines coming in, haven't we? We've got another Subaru coming in,
We've got the Subaru coming in, which I'm going to get you, if you've got time, to rip apart.
You should do. You should be able to.
See what's going on there. Apparently that one's been built.
Right.
Meant to have trick liners and all the rest of it in there.
Oh, really?
We shall soon see, eh?
Is it a 2 litre or 2.5, that one?
It's a 2.5, that.
Ah, right.
2.5, yeah. So yeah, we've got plenty on, mate.
Yeah.
Plenty on in the pipeline.
It definitely, last week and a half, seems like it's really started to sort itself out again after doing all of that in there.
I think so, yeah. I think it's had a positive effect, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, when I watch the videos now, when I'm editing the videos, the bits in there, it just looks trick now, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
it's brilliant.
Lighting and all that does look good on the videos, so definitely works. Makes us look professional, if nothing else. So yeah, we've got plenty on, mate, haven't we?
Yeah, lots to do.
Got another Cosworth coming in soon, I think.
Yeah.
And possibly another Subaru.
Nice.
Nice. So that's all we've got time for, guys, unfortunately, until Friday's video. As I say, I'm off tomorrow, so Isaac's going to be up against it. But until then, have a great evening. We'll see you then. Cheers, guys.